Hello, my name is Samantha Sines, and I will be discussing collections and exhibitions. I will first start by discussing current exhibitions. These current exhibitions include Don Bachardy, A Life in Portraits, Mineo Mizuno, Homage to Nature, and Betty Sear, Drifting Toward Twilight. Now, while these exhibitions are located all over the Huntington Library estate, the exhibition that is currently on in the Huntington Gallery itself, the Huntington Art Gallery, would be Mizuno's Komorebi, Light of Forest and Thousand Blossoms, which I got to see in person and is pictured here in this screenshot. Next, I will be discussing collections. The collections within the Huntington Art Gallery are the British and European art, American art, and Asian art. However, throughout the Huntington estate, the current collections include the library, the art museum, the botanical gardens, the research and fellowships, as well as centers and institutes. In this section, I will be doing a compare and contrast of the website versus my in-person visit. The website itself is really easy to navigate and very clean. It's not cluttered. The sections we have are visit, to plan your visit and buy tickets. There's what's on, which discusses exhibitions and temporary installations. There's collections and research, which are maintained collections by the museum. There's learn, which provides resources for learning about various exhibits and collections, anything to learn about the art and stuff that you can find at this museum. There is Join and Give, which provides payment or plan options for people who want to donate to the museum. And then finally, there is the About section, which gives you information about the museum and its history. The website, however, does not even compare to the actual in-person visit. As you can see pictured here, I have some photos from specifically the Huntington Art Gallery itself. There is the front, or rather the back of the building. There are these large vases that are along the balcony which line the gallery. And there is lastly a picture of me in front of the Huntington Art Gallery. The sheer size of the estate of this place is crazy. But it was quite an experience getting to visit and seeing all the beautiful pieces inside, and especially the scale at which they are really gets across how grand this museum is. So I really think that as far as comparing the website to the in-person visit, it's really more about scale and details and all the things you can see in person. The first artwork I selected is from the Huntington Art Gallery and is by the artist Rakib Shah. It's a tapestry called Space Between Dreams, The Pragmatic Pessimist, and it was done from 2022 to 2023. This tapestry is part of a series of tapestries. It's one of two, and it is a reflection of the artist on mortality as well as climate change. I chose this piece because I found it very beautiful, and with the scale of it on the wall of the interior of the Huntington Gallery, it really was a beautiful piece to look at, and the scale just amplified that. The piece below, that is smaller, is the other within this series. And as you can see, both of them kind of reflect each other, or rather are opposites. But I thought that these two pieces were really interesting, and I wanted to talk specifically about the frozen landscape one, which is the pragmatic pessimist. The second piece that I will be discussing, I also found in the Huntington Art Gallery, and it is titled Diana Viscountess Crosby. It was painted by British painter Joshua Reynolds in 1777, and it's an oil on canvas. I selected this piece because I found it very beautiful, but so were many of the pieces within this section, which feature large, grand scale portraits of, I'm assuming, aristocrats. But I really like this painting because of the beautiful blue sky background and the detail and textures within the dress, and especially the expression on Diana's face. I just found it to be very beautiful. And seeing it in person, it really was a huge painting. And I think that's the best size that it could be at because of all the detail that you see when you are in person. The description of this painting states that it conveys an air of charming informality, and that the painting was a result of a trend towards naturalism that arose in the late 1700s.